Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you all today. It's been an intense time. We're all just, I think, hanging in there. So much energy right now. And so much happening just in my neighborhood right now, literally. So it's a good day to meditate together, and it's powerful when we do meditate together, you know. It's different when you're watching it later, you know, when you're live doing it, you can actually feel the energy of the group energy, and it's very powerful because you can connect to something bigger than yourself, and it's just very powerful. So I appreciate you all being here live, and I appreciate all the ones of you that have your cameras on so I can see you. Thank you very much. It feels so nice to see your beautiful faces and shining light coming out. So nice, and I so appreciate it. I had such a different plan for tonight, but as it's gone in the last hour, so many things just happened, and so I'm kind of doing a little bit different than what I thought I was going to do. I think that I will share the chart because it's interesting, just for a moment, so you can kind of see what's happening. And some of you that know a little bit about astrology, you'll be able to see, you know, you may know enough to follow what's actually happening right now and where it might be in your horoscope, where it might be lighting up your chart. So I'm just going to share that now. Here it is. So this is the full moon chart. I called it healing the wound, and I want to say healing the group wound or healing the world wound. That might even be better to say because of the aspects that are happening. I thought it was really interesting. You know, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. The sun is in the solar sun energy is in 20 Gemini, and the full moon is at 20 Sag. So that's where you'd look to see, you know, how this might be affecting you is where is 20 Sagittarius in your chart, or 21 Sagittarius. And so the full moon degree is, Sabian symbol is a child and a dog with borrowed eyeglasses. So you're supposed to meditate on that and wonder what that means. And I wrote down just simply learning and wanting to learn, putting eyeglasses on a dog, right? There's this willingness to learn, willingness to go past what your capabilities are right now. And I think that's accurate. I think we are having to go past our capabilities right now, more than we ever have had to. You know, like we're really getting stretched and pushed to the edge of what we can kind of handle and do and how we can be effective to anything, or, you know, and feeling like you can't be effective too much, but you can. And that's what we're going to do in our meditation. The sun degree is even more interesting at 21 Gemini. It's 20, but it goes up, you round up. And the degree is a tumultuous labor demonstration. So, right? Holding the line, I wrote, not backing down. This is, you know, the tests that are happening out in the world right now. And so here's the sun and moon in Los Angeles. So remember, this is an LA chart. So this is pretty intense with the moon right at the top. So our wound is revealed. Everyone can see this. This is not a private experience, right? The whole world is watching. The moon at the top like that. The whole world is watching. And so through our experiences, you know, the world is learning, the world is seeing, and things are happening because of that. We have an amazing aspect of Jupiter has just moved into Cancer. If you are a Cancer, this is a whole year of boon for you, and bounty and learning and growth and happy growth, though. It's conjuncting Mercury right now, so this is a beautiful aspect. It's squaring everything at the moment, squaring the Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. You know, it's 0, 1 and 0, 2, but it's going to keep coming in around to 0 degrees Aries over and over, which is this big event that's happening for the whole year this year. This is just all the way till next year, 2026, February around. It'll finally be over, or at least this thrust. And so even this wonderful aspect is squaring all that. So the world is watching. It is all being communicated. This is, even in a way, you could say this is LA's chart, Los Angeles's chart for the full moon. The full moon is exact at 12:43 tonight. So there's a lot going on. I'm not going to go through it all, but I wanted to at least give you those Sabian symbols. There's a grand trine with healing the wound. There's a grand trine between Moon and Mars, meaning action, advocacy, taking action, moving from passion, moving from the heart, with Chiron, the wound. See, with the wound. So this is the wound that we're experiencing here in Los Angeles is not just ours. It's the wound, right, that we're all dealing with right now. It's just so intense. And so, one of the things, and I've been saying this for about 7 years, that I think a lot of what's going on right now has to do with Civil War karma working out. And it never did work out. It never did get healed. And here we are kind of back to that same energy of them and us and north and south and, that whole thing of separation and polarization and all of that. And so what we can do as conscious souls and conscious meditators is we can harmonize energy. We can help by lighting the way, by standing in non-reaction or in non-judgment, and to hold the highest point that we can touch and think of as the ideal all the time, so that we are like this lighthouse of consciousness, this lighthouse of presence, this lighthouse of centeredness, and this lighthouse of light. Right? And this is in the esoteric communities. We just did the full moon at Meditation Mount. This is the Festival of Humanity. This is the big light outpouring, the esoteric light outpouring, the most light on the planet, moving esoterically through. And it's pure love. It's divine love. So this is happening at the same time. It always happens with this full moon every year, the Gemini full moon. So, of course, Geminis are affected by all of this a lot, too. So if you're a Gemini, or you have Gemini rising, or you have Gemini moon, or you have a Gemini stellium or something, or Sagittarius full moon, which it's full in, those signs are getting extremely affected. But anywhere it is in your chart, you're being affected by this energy, too. So it's big and powerful. With a full moon in Sagittarius, one of the main keywords for Sagittarius is truth. And the thing I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight before we go into the meditation is this concept that I teach quite often, that I love and I use personally every day of my life. And it's the idea of standing on the axis of truth, which is on the vertical, and love, which is on the horizontal. And how that works is truth on the vertical of being crown chakra open, soul guided, right, in the life, moving by soul vertically, and then horizontally moving by heart through the world, right, through you to me and me to you. This axis is moving. It's an in-motion axis. It's not fixed. It's not just sitting here like this, like a big X or a plus sign. It's in motion. And where we stand is sort of at that point, right, of where these two axes come together. You're in this constant motion, so that no matter what is happening, no matter what direction you might be in, this, even though it's moving, is still based on that crosshairs, in a sense, of those 2 points intersecting. So it's a highly, highly hyper dynamic point of focus. It's constantly in motion. It's constantly responding, not reacting, responding to the energies that are incoming. And so that's an art, because sometimes you're upside down doing that. Sometimes you're right side up and it's easier, right? But sometimes you're upside down, or you're sideways, or you're facing backwards, or all these things. But that point of presence in the now, in the present, is at that point of truth plus love. And the way I said it today, I was talking to a client and we were talking about it like this. Another way of saying that is awareness and compassion. So that's a different way of saying that, right? Can you see it? But it's similar, truth plus love, awareness plus compassion. And to me, I love formulas. I love things that work every time. I love things that are consistent, and especially about things that are esoteric and abstract. So we're talking about things you can't see, we're talking about energy, and yet there are ways to work with energy that are absolutely consistent and you can count on because they're rules, they're universal laws, right? And that awareness plus compassion, right? So, and I'll go back to truth plus love. Truth without love can be cruel. It can be without mercy, You did bad, you're wrong, right? It can be judgment, certainly, truth by itself, right? Love without truth, right, can be blind. And just kind of be out of focus and, no boundary, no self in that. And when you mix the two, truth and love together, truth plus love together, it becomes a dynamo of a point of consciousness, a point of presence in the self that is indisputable. And you can stand in that place, even though it's in motion, because everything's in motion. You can stand in that place and speak truth because it's conditioned by love, right? So those go together. So when you're speaking truth to someone, right, or to even to yourself, that without the love there, it's just mean. It can be, right? And so that combination of starting to think like that, how do I do that? How do I stand on that axis? How do I stand at that, and I like to call it nexus, because it's dynamic, it's moving, and it's moving forward, and it's moving with. And it is beyond our normal in the sense that it is past, present, and future. So it's not limited, right, to just right now. It's all time and space. So as you start to feel that, and we're going to work with that in the meditation, like how do you stand in that quality of attention, in that presence, in awareness and compassion, right? Truth and love. As you look through these eyes, as you look through, experience this life through this self and move through it in a conscious way that's not just adding to the commotion or adding to the chaos or adding to the confusions that are happening or adding to the anger or adding to the violence or, and how do you use yourself better to work with those energies? Because you don't want to be in denial. See, with you're just in love and you don't want, everything's going to be fine. And no, and yes, in the big scheme, but, not in the moment to moment sometimes, right? So that truth is important, right? To be able to look straight at anything, right? And it somehow brings to mind when my dear friend, old friend, June, died, and she was 88 years old. And I was with her as she passed, and I've been so fortunate to be with people at that time in their lives for so many times. And I feel like it's a blessing, like it's complete privilege. But it is not for the faint of heart, because it is super intense. And some of you know this. You are with them, and when you can, that's what I'm saying in truth and love, you can look at anything. because there's nothing to judge. There's nothing wrong with anything. And so when your eyes can hold with someone while they're making one of the biggest movements they're going to ever make, in this life, that last movement, right? They're afraid often, right? How do you stay with them and not be afraid yourself, but not, and that's not even true. There might be fear there, right? We might be afraid too, or whatever it is. But when you stand on truth plus love, it's like you can stand anywhere, any way, no matter what. And can you feel the power of that? And I think of another image that comes to mind is that Kent State image. Is one of my favorite photographs ever. It was taken in the 60s at Kent State, and there's a line of military, police officers, and I think they're military, I'm not sure. And this guy is putting a daisy in the rifle barrel, like facing it, right? Facing it. But he's not attacking it, he's not breaking it, he's not even judging it. He's just going, bink. He's changing the energy in that moment in this person's way. And you get creative. How do you respond to things that are happening around you? And that truth plus love platform, this moving, in motion, responsive platform, becomes really useful in the day-to-day life. So if I'm, working with someone that's going through something very intense, it's like a roller coaster ride sometimes, or there's anger there, or there's fear there, or there's tears there, right? I can get emotional back, or I can respond back, or say, you can't talk to me like that, or something, right? I could take offense or take things personally. But when you're standing in truth and love, there's nothing to take personally, because they're me and I'm them. We're all the same. We're all connected. And you start to really know that what appears like sides and sidedness, everybody's scared, and everybody's reacting, and everybody is just where they are. And when you start to look at it from that spiritual perspective, you have a lot more choices of response, a lot more. And in those choices of response, you can choose a higher vibration position. And you know how I keep saying every full moon, I've been saying, keep holding for the highest, no matter what you see, no matter what you hear, no matter what you even know about it, even to still keep holding for the highest, because it's the stimulation of showing you pictures of things that are scary that will create a reaction and polarize. And it is absolutely predictable, and it really, really works. And we're responsible to that too, right? In that we can respond how we choose to respond, not be manipulated into a response by any situation, So it's super intense right now. So how are you keeping your balance? Practice keeping your balance. I'm giving you this tool that I've taught a lot about over the years about keeping your balance, and there's more to say about that. And I just changed it today, actually, from that truth plus love, which is how I normally would teach this. But now I'm calling it awareness plus compassion. It's a higher vibration of the same idea, And so it's for people that can hold more subtle concepts. When we have compassion, we're not in judgment. It's as simple as that. When we're not in compassion, we are in judgment. I would never do that, we say. And that creates the line of the separation. Maybe you would. Given the right circumstances, given the right background, given the right everything, right? Maybe we would. And so it's easy to say, and stand on the other side and make a judgment. But when we remember we're all interconnected, then we're moving by heart. And we can have a lot more effect that way in the world and in our life. And to keep that calm, not head in the sand, looking straight at, right? Looking right at. But there's love in my eyes, not judgment in my eyes. And it's not love like this. It's not that kind of love. It's steady. It's true. It's truth plus love, right? And people can sense that. And also think of it when you turn your attention inward, how are you viewing yourself in that same way? Remember, Sagittarius is all about truth. That's its key word. It loves truth. It tells the truth, and it's famous for saying too much truth, right. But it's that I have Sagittarius rising, so I'm a speaker of truth, and sort of die on that sword, right? Because I love truth so much, but I also love love. So it's funny, I just thought of this, and with my chart, I have Sagittarius rising. So there's my truth thing that governs my life. And I have Venus on my ascendant, on the rising sign, which is the planet of love. So there, look at my own invention of that combination is so me, actually. It's so the way I do things, and it's so the way I understand things. And so I can teach that because I am that, right? And what I can teach is what I am. Same with you. So when we're our true self, that is a kind of genius, because that true self is your gift. That is what you bring, and it uniquely belongs to you, right? And you can offer that into situations. And so much about spiritual approach and spiritual life is about realizing yourself, self-realization, realizing yourself, different than your parents, different than your siblings, different than your coworkers, different yourself. And then that uniqueness is a kind of brilliance, right? Brilliance, right? Illumined, because it's coming from your true self. So when we do the meditation in a moment, I'm going to sort of bring that in, that concept, but we're going to do it, abstractly in our meditation, so you can really even make it bigger, because when I show it, it's sort of limited of what I can describe that as. But when you are it, you can learn this as something you can do, so that when the world is moving, you're not a fixed object that can't move, stiff. You can bend with it, you can move with it, and you can respond in a creative way. And in a way where you're in your personal integrity and in the light of yourself, and offer something of value, which can be a one-word thing or no-word thing, right? Just holding the energy, holding the space. And we'll also, once we're in that space, then we'll offer blessings to the world as we practice holding a new space in ourselves, as we're getting used to standing in a more complex way within ourselves that is a dimensional perspective, not a black and white perspective, right? And that goes back to the polarization, right? Polarization is definitely black and white. You and me, them and us, all those separative words are that breaking down and oversimplifying something that's dynamic and in motion and interconnected, because your foot is aware of your hand. It's like everything's connected in the body of the self, just like we're all connected in the body of humanity. So let's do it. Let's do a meditation. I'm going to light my candle. If you want to light a candle, you're welcome to, or you can use mine as yours. Right. Here we go. This is the deep water, the big space, the creative space, where you connect to light directly from your own connection, right? And that connection, of course, we're all able to connect to but we're all kind of seeing different angles of it as we connect to it. And each one of us is uniquely lit by that light that moves through us perfectly. Each one of us. And there's a big group, we're, 67 people, right? So there's like a bunch of us here meditating together. So this is a powerful opportunity to harmonize our energies together and be part of something bigger than ourselves, and to also recognize that there's kindredness here, there's community here, there's heart here, right? And there's practice, because all of this requires some discipline, right? To meditate every day, to become still, to maybe stand in this new way within the self that we're talking about, truth plus love. And starting to get used to moving from that place that is in non-judgment, that sees but does not judge, that sees and helps, that sees and serves, that sees and is creative, perspective versus judgment, perceiving something versus judging something. And, you know, the big question, they say, is the most important question in the world, the four words, and it says, how can I help? How can I help? And we can. And sometimes we think we can't, but we can. All of us in our unique ways. So here we go into the meditation now. So when you're ready to use your breath and organizing yourself to your breath, coming into this time and space, and feel yourself become present, relaxing the body, relaxing the neck, relaxing the arms, shoulders, face, eyes, relaxing the physical body, so that your body starts to feel open, permeable to light, receptive to light. I am receptive to light. Om. And even as you say that phrase inside yourself, you can sense that receptivity is already happening. It's already happening. By your remembering that you're receptive to light, by your declaration, I am receptive to light, you become receptive to light more and more and more. So let's start with this phrase as we start this meditation, with just this simple concept of I am light. Om. I am light. This is one of my favorite meditations. I am light in form. Feeling that quality. I am light in form. Feeling that as an experience. I am light in form. I am light in form. And as you start to relax the physical body more, you feel all the bodies of the self, body, mind, heart, and more, starting to harmonize with each other as you become more and more present. More and more present. I am present. And my new power mantra is, I am meditating. I am present, and I am meditating. And within yourself, feel the vertical connection, the alignment with the soul. It goes up and down. I'm going to call that truth, or I'm going to call that awareness. Not thinking. It's different than thinking. Awareness. And you feel that blue-white light, like a beam of light moving from above, down, and through the crown, and through your spine, all the way down and through the ground. Standing on the vertical axis of truth. And just feeling, which is easier for you when we compare them. For right now, we're just on the vertical axis. Truth. Vertical. Blue-white light. Feel it moving from above all the way down into the earth. Is feeling that alignment, and how does it feel to you? And for me, I would say words like corrective, right? Balanced, balancing. Corrective in a positive sense, not like a correction, but corrective in that it reintegrates me light to light on the vertical. And I feel this alignment within myself that I count on because it's true. Truth. It's true. And just feel that vertical alignment for a moment by itself. So you can start to get to know this place, get so familiar with it that you can feel it when it's happening and you can feel it when it's not happening. So I live in this alignment all the time, pretty much all the time. And when I'm not in it for some reason, it feels like almost like I could fall over in a way, because I so count on that vertical alignment. This is my connection to things that are beyond me, past my ken, right? Past the ring, past naught. Divine knowledge, divine love, divine light. And so just resting in this vertical for a moment, getting used to it, and sort of memorizing the feeling of that alignment. And of course, this particular meditation, and especially just the one part of it, when done standing, could be very, very powerful too. If you can imagine that, just standing up and feeling that alignment. But you don't need to stand to do this. But I'm just saying it would be powerful in its own right to stand and feel this vertical alignment, this blue-white light moving through you. Now just harmonize to that, get used to it. And then for a moment, just let it go. Just let it fall away and just feel that. Feel it without that alignment. If you don't tune in to that vertical alignment. So now it's like nothing, right? It's just yourself as yourself without the push of this vertical alignment. Just feel yourself now. And take a breath. And as you take a breath, start to feel your heart center, right? The heart center, right here, the heart chakra. Breathe through your heart chakra and begin to feel a growing, increasing, horizontal line of light that moves from in front of you to behind you. And it's just this line of light that is moving forward and backward. Like the lines are going outward from your heart. From your heart, a line of light going forward, a line of light going behind you, and kind of 360 really. And feel that 360 but also horizontal alignment of the heart. And rest in that for a moment. And feel the difference between, how different, I mean they're radically different actually, between those two ways. And just feel that by itself so you can feel what that feels like to be in the heart and sort of moving from the heart in your life. Imagine walking out into the world from this place. And just as you're here, is this easy? Is it harder? Is it harder than the other? Is it easier than the other? Is it familiar? Is it unfamiliar? Just try, ask yourself all about it. Like, what else about it? What happens when you're in your heart center on the horizontal? You imagine that love going out, right, to your family, going out to your dog, going out to your child, going out to your friends, going out to the world, right? Love. Just pure love. Pure love. Now, let that go for a moment. And just wondering about that and be curious about it and get neutral. And then finally what we're going to do in a moment, don't do it yet, we're going to work them together. We're going to work them together. So you establish the vertical, you establish the horizontal. To me, the horizontal line is golden. That's how I perceive it, as gold and white. And the vertical is sort of blue and white, or blue and silver even. Blue and silver and gold and white through the heart. Blue and silver through the head center. And then just see if you can stand right at the crisscross where those two things touch at the center. Be right there. And just like you're on a ride almost, that this thing moves like a gyroscope. And there's power in it if you can sense that. And there you're standing on this nexus, right? You're standing right at it. And you're sitting cross-legged though, right? You're sitting cross-legged at the nexus. And it's moving, and it does this, and it does that, and stimulation over here, and stimulation over there. And it doesn't matter where the stimulation comes from, because as long as you're on that axis, you can respond. You can relax. You can take a breath. You can take your time. You can decide. You can know. Whatever it be. And just for a moment in this meditation, just gently practicing, going to friend's house, going to the store, taking a walk, talking deeply, talking with yourself in your own consciousness and imagining, doing it from here. This is a tool I'm teaching you. This is a tool you can use. At a meeting, I got called for jury duty, so I'm going to take that with me to jury duty. Right? I'm going to use that, right? I use it everywhere, though. I go everywhere. When I'm driving, when I'm talking, when I'm interacting, when I'm working, when I'm, riding a horse. It doesn't matter what it is, right? I'm using this positioning of my consciousness. And just kind of practice it in your mind's eye as you imagine yourself moving through your life, standing at this very powerful platform in motion as you move with your life, as you move into yourself. And feel how there's no judgment here, because you know why? Because it's truth plus love. There's no judgment. There is simply truth and love. And I'm going to go subtler now and change those words again to this different way I've been saying it as of today. Awareness and compassion. Awareness. Can you feel like they have different temperatures now when you use those words? Awareness and compassion. Awareness and compassion. On this full moon of maximum light, maximum spiritual energy, let yourself, in this way that you're holding yourself, receive safely, perfectly in harmony with you, this big light that's coming into the world. It's divine intelligence that's being offered. Let it move through you and reorganize you correctively. See, that correction is just a shift to the left. It's just a shift to the left, right? Just a little tiny motion that when you're on that moving platform, it's easy to rebalance all the time to the shifting energies. And then breathing from this place so that it starts to become normalized, organized, part of you, a choice you can make, a position of openness and awareness and compassion. Awareness and compassion. Om. Awareness. Feel how big the word is? Awareness. And compassion. That's the horizontal. Awareness, vertical. Compassion, horizontal. And right where they meet is where you stand. Feel that placement. Get used to it. You cannot judge from here. Not yourself, not somebody else. You can see it all. You can understand it all. From this place, receiving right now, this light, this big heart light that is being given, that is always being given. It's just more today, but it's always being given, this quality of light, and receive it. I receive this light. Feel all the microscopic adjustments that are made in body at the level of nuclei, of cell, of nerve, of tissue, of bone. All these adjustments are being made at the level of heart and the emotions, sending this tremendous peace and calm through the whole being, through your whole being, that you are living calm. You are living calm. Feel this light. Make the adjustments mentally. Even-mindedness, steadiness, clarity, constancy, perception. Letting this light that you are receiving touch the spiritual bodies, making those adjustments that are more subtle through the chakras, through the different fields of the self that are invisible but are there. And remembering how we began this meditation with this phrase, I am light. I am light in form. Keep receiving this light. Feel the little suns within every little nucleus, lit up like little suns. So those suns within the nucleus and then throughout the whole body are like are lit up like little suns in every single nucleus in your whole body, billions and billions. And in that sense, the body, these stars within our body, these suns within the nuclei, are like the night sky with a billion stars. Light to light. Light to light. So you are this light. And then as you exhale, breathing out light, offering this light to all the places and all the situations and all the whatever comes to mind. Sending this light right there to that person, to that place, to that situation. Just sending it as it crosses your mind, the light goes there. Like effortlessly. No reaction, no judgment, just sending light. Sending light. I'm sending it to my mom now. Just sending light. It's not forcing it or pushing it or making anything happen. Just sending light, supportive to whatever the highest good is, right? To any and every situation that comes to mind. And whatever is in your awareness is what's touched by this light. And then just see our world, the earth, in more of an abstract sense, kind of step back from it, like you're a star in the sky looking at our earth. And you send from there now. And you send this love. You send this light. And you help. How can I help? I can help like this. And you send light to our earth and the intense growing pains that it is going through right now. Sending light. Sending light. And when you stand in that truth plus love, or that awareness and compassion point, that constantly moving nexus, it takes no effort. It is easy. It is so easy. It's like exhaling. And you just offer. Because there's no expectation. There's no need of anything in return. It's just given. No strings attached. Just love. I am light. Om. And I am meditating. Om. And I am light in form. Om. And thus letting all that light dissolve into you and around you, into your trees, in your yard, into your garden, into your animals, into your family, into everything. Just let it move into the windows, into the walls, into everything, like you're clearing your own feng shui of your house, of the room that you're in. You're just letting that light disperse however it wants to until it starts to feel natural. To begin to deepen your breath then. Feeling yourself here and now, still in that soft position of vertical and horizontal axis, the blue, white, vertical, and the golden, white, horizontal. And just relax that, but let it still be there. Like this is been received by you. This tool is yours now, forevermore. If you remember that it's there, that's all you have to do is remember that it's there. And then you can use it and you can help. So, what a day. What a time. And we are the ones. And we knew this. So here we are, right where we're supposed to be. And we're not alone. And we are part of family of conscious souls, big time. So thank you for being part of this and being together with this, with us, all of us together. The next full moon is Wednesday, July 9th. And the next meditation class will be June 24th, which is a Tuesday. So if you'd like to come, that would be great. I hope you do. I hope you meditate. I hope you keep practicing. I hope you use this tool I showed you tonight. The full moon is exact tonight at 12:43, so you can touch it again if you're still awake. And yeah, and keep standing in that placement as things move around you. You don't have to move. Let this be the movement so that you're not getting thrown around by all that's happening. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you for being here and part of this.